Welcome back to the ongoing chapter, Question of Trust by Victor Canning. So far, you have seen how the story unfolded and whatever happened, how Horace Danby planned and executed his planning. He reached the house, short of Grange, and then reached the drawing room where the safe was hidden by a poor drawing, a poor painting. He reached there, he was all set to open the safe, break open the safe. Then he heard a lady say something to him, and he was puzzled because he didn't expect a family member there at the home. He had made all the calculations, all the planning, all the reconnaissance was done, so he didn't expect a family member there at home at that point of time. So was puzzled, but realized that the lady was amused at his presence. When the lady asked, "What is your thought now?" He said, "Well, I have the only thought right now, that is to run away from here." The lady said, "Well, if you try to do so, I will uh, I'll give a call to police, and police will take no time to nab you." Now let's begin the next part now. Or I said, I would, of course, cut the telephone wires first, and then he hesitated, a smile on his face. I would make sure that you could do nothing for some time. A few hours would be enough. Horace said then, "Well, you want to call police? You mean to call police? I will just cut the wire." "Oh, that's quite simple for me. I'll just go and cut the wires if you want to call police." And he hesitates before he says further. He said, "Well," then he gave a smile. There was a smile on his face, and then he said, "Well, I would make sure that you could do nothing for some time." I said, "Well, that next thing that I would do is I would disable you. I would not allow, I would render you helpless for some time. And a few hours would be sufficient for me. A few hours, the safe will take hardly 1 or 2 hours for me to break it. So, for I will render you, oh, helpless for a while, and that would be sufficient for me to run away with all the wealth, all the jewelry, and all." She looked at him seriously. "You would hurt me?" Horace paused and then said, "I think I was trying to frighten you when I said that." Now she reacted. She got very serious and reacted fiercely. Said, "You would hurt me? You plan to hurt me? You mean you would hurt me?" And getting that reaction, that kind of reaction, Horace realized that the situation was getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting out of his hand. So he just tried here to cover up the things and said, "Well, when I said so, I just wanted to frighten you. I just simply tried to frighten you, scare you, and nothing else. You didn't frighten me." And she reacted again, said, "Well, you didn't frighten me, but you offended me. You threatened me." Horace suggested, It would be nice if you would forget you ever saw me. Let me go." Now Horace suggested, "Well, just forget all the things, all the issues. I'm just willing to go away without a thing, without a jewel. And it's better for you two that you forget all the things that you ever saw me, you ever came to see me. Let me go now. The voice was suddenly sharp. Why should I? You were going to rob me. If I let you go, you will only rob someone else. Society must be protected from men like you. Suddenly the voice got very sharp, very loud, and she said, Why should I? Why should I let you go? You were going to rob me. You came here to rob me, to take all my jewels, all my jewelry, all my wealth. And if I let you go, you will only rob someone else. If you don't take away things from here, if you don't rob me, then you will go some other place. You'll find some other home and do robbery there. And it's my duty to my duty to protect the society from men like you. You came here. You can take away with the things. You can go away with the things from my place, but I will not let you rob someone else. Horace smiled. I'm not a man who threatens society. I steal only from those who have a lot of money. I steal for a very good reason, and I hate the thought of prison. Horace smiled at those remarks made by the lady. He said, Well, I'm not a man, I'm not a kind of man who threatens society. I don't, I'm not a threat to society. I steal only from those who have a lot of money. He said, Well, I steal only from those who have got lots of money. I steal for a very good cause. And I hate the thought of prison. He said, Well, I do it with some good intention. I have a good thought behind such robberies. And he further added that, Well, I hate the thought of prison. I don't like the word prison. Don't like to go there. Don't like the word prison at all. She laughed. And he begged. She laughed and he begged. She was laughing. She was enjoying it. And because she was not the owner, she was the mistress of the house. And here, the robber, that is Horace Danby, he was begging. He thought he was in trouble. He was caught, thinking that he had and begged, thinking that he had persuaded her. Okay, he begged, thinking that he had persuaded her. Look, I have no right to ask you for anything, but I am desperate. Now, as she was laughing, he begged. He realized that, this lady is now convinced, and she has developed some kind of sympathy for me. Horace thought in that way. Now he pleaded, he requested, he begged. Look, I have no right to ask. I don't have any right to ask you for any favor, but I am desperate. I am hopeless. I have no other choice but to ask you to let me go. And I promise never to do this kind of thing again. I really mean it. And then he further said that, I mean, I will never repeat such kind of thing ever in my life. She was silent, watching him closely, and then she said, You are really afraid of going to prison, aren't you? She remained silent for a while. She realized that this man is, though a robber, but not a professional, and and uh, he is now worried. He is worried. He's tense. He's nervous. Now, she was silent for a while, watched him very closely, trying to reach his next step, trying to read his mind, okay, closely. Then she said, "You are really afraid of going to prison, aren't you? Well, it seems that you're really worried, you're really tense, and you're afraid of going to prison." She came over to him, shaking her head, and she came over to him. She went up to him, shaking her head. "Well, you're such a poor man. You are afraid of going to prison. I have always liked the wrong kind of people." And she commented, she remarked, "Well, I've always liked the wrong kind of people. I always like the people who have done something wrong and want to come out of that kind of situation, trouble situation. I always like the wrong kind of men. I always like the kind of men who are in distress, who are in problem, and are looking ways to come out of it. So I like you." She picked up a silver box. She picked up a silver box that was on the table, took a cigarette from it. Horace, eager to please her and seeing that she might help him, took off his gloves and gave her his cigarette lighter. Now Horace sensed an opportunity. She came up to the table now. There was the cigarette case. She picked up that cigarette case that was of silver, made of silver, removed a cigarette. And here Horace sensed the opportunity. He realized that, well, he could escape this lady. He could run away. He could go away from here without any trouble, without getting to face the police. So he came up to the lady, and then, sensing the opportunity, picked, he took out the cigarette lighter from his pocket and forwarded it to her, to the lady. But before doing so, as he extended his cigarette lighter, he removed his gloves first. "You'll let me go?" He held the lighter towards her, holding the lighter close to the lady. He said, "You'll let me go? I hope you'll let me go now." "Yes, but only if you'll do something for me." "Anything you say." The lady here realized that she has a very good opportunity. She did what she wanted to. That This man is now completely ready to follow her. Now she said, "Well, I can do that. I will let you go, but before that, you'll have to do me a favor. You'll have to do something for me." He said, "Anything for you. I'm ready to do anything that you say." Before we left for London, I promised my husband to take my jewels to our bank, but I left them here in the safe. I want to wear them to a party tonight, so I came down to get them. Well, she said, before husband left, I promised him that I will take the jewelries, all the jewel to the bank and keep them there in the safe. But then But then I forgot. She said, I forgot. And now, since today is a party, and I need to attend the party, and I thought that I would go that party to the party wearing the jewelries, but there is a problem. Horace smiled. You have forgotten the number to open the safe, haven't you? Oh, well, he realized that she must have forgotten the number of the safe. The way we have the mobile, the way we use the mobile, we use the lock pin. We use ATMs. There is the lock. Yeah, there is a pin. We use Paytm. There is a pin again. So in the same way, the safe to open the safe, there is a pin. Safe 2 uses a pin. So he realized that the lady must have forgotten the pin. Yes, replied the young lady, and she said, yes, I've forgotten the pin number. This is all for now. Thank you.